minutes look?
That's the card to me.
That's fine with me too.
Need a motion?
I'll move.
Did you need one?
I'll second it. All in favor?
Yep.
Okay. Good work.
Okay. I want to explain a little bit about this, these minutes, this treasurer's report. The first thing on the treasurer's report is the general fund. That's what we pay payroll, parts. That's where we have to put our money. If we get a grant, like the Conservation District will give us half the money up front, that's where we have to put that money, because we have to pay all of our county aid. If we get county aid, we have to pay it out of that fund. That's why I want to keep that fund up as high as I can, so that we have the money up front when we need it. The next one is what we got from the federal government, this ARPA, American Rescue Plan funds. That's 1 year, and then we get the same amount next year. And there's only certain things we're allowed to spend that on. The one thing we did find out that we could spend it on pipes, which will help some. And then the state fund is the one where we pay for we get our liquid fuels money goes into that, and then we pay for our grader payments, our little truck payment, and our gravel,
That's gravel.
and pea gravel. What's that?
No, that's gravel to me, yep.
Okay, and then the street lights, that's pretty self-explanatory. So since this was printed at the end of last month, we already spent another $50,000 out of that state fund, because we had a truck payment due and we had oil due. So that knocks it down.
And that's gonna get us through to March of next year.
What's that?
The liquid fuels money comes in
We'll get it in March.
March, okay.
Yeah. And, another thing, I meant to bring my iPad. Oakland Township lost 143 people during the census. And I thought we were doing really well about getting our forms back in for the count. At $143, our liquid fuels is tied into that. What the school gets tied into it. There was one township in all Venango County that gained anybody, and one township stayed the same. Everybody else lost people.
Is that because people didn't turn it in, or
Well,
most likely?
They didn't get counted.
Which one gained?
Pardon me?
Which one gained? Do you know?
No, I meant to bring my iPad with me. I copied that.
No worries. Just curious.
I don't ever remember doing it. I guess my wife must have.
Oh, well, you got a card in the mail, and you get online and fill it out.
Probably did online.
And I know I didn't do it.
And Oakland Township returned, I think last I knew, was like 77% of their forms. But then it was up to the canvassers to go out and catch the ones that wouldn't return them. So.
Did that have something to do with a few years back where they stood in your front door and took your GPS?
No.
No.
No,
What was that for?
I don't remember what that is for, but the census is every 10 years.
They did it last year.
I remember that guy standing right there and punching my GPS in for my front door.
That might have been the tax assessor or something.
Yep.
No. Is that what it was?
I think it's
Taxes?
the tax assessor, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, they show up and do that.
Wow.
Okay.
Next on the agenda.
Okay. This probably is going to be in the same order as what's on there. So, I had an interesting email from the county, the 2021 upset tax sale certification for municipalities. They sent a list of all the bidders. It's the first time in all these years that I've ever seen that. And if you have any comments to make about any of these bidders, you're supposed to comment to them. You know, like you did stuff on the bidders or whatever, but that problems with the one bidders. Never had that before.
I think this year they changed where, used to, when I gone, you could actually register the day of the sale, now you have to register I think like September 1st. If you plan on going to bid on something, that's a new law that they changed this year.
Yeah,
So that's probably
that's
kind of
part
that.
of it, yeah, part of the law. Yeah, and that's the upset tax sale is gonna be September 13th. Okay, there is tax reports. Good thing you have a laptop, huh?
So I said, that helps. I think I did, of course, mostly school, like 77. So that day, that's Friday. Then I had my wife making me borrow living in other cities, and so on Saturdays, I called this, my wife, oh, yes, good. I didn't want to lean on that long.
And you wanna speak to that?
Okay, everybody knows they've redone 428 between here and Cherry Road. And areas from the, where's there, 500 feet south of Oakland Village Drive, up to that point, what is 55, but from there on down the hill was 55 to Dempseytown. And Bob Fennell did a lot of bellyaching about it when they decided to redo the road out there. They dropped the speed limit down to 45 miles an hour, starting at 500 feet on this side of Oakland Village Drive. So it's a slower speed limit now than what it used to be.
Now, would that be on this side of,
Yep. Come down the hill.
no?
Yep. Going north. 428.
It's 45 mile an hour out past my house.
No, I'm talking about from up there by the church, down to Dempseytown is now 45, where it was 55. Which, there's been 2 or 3 wrecks in there over the years, and they decided, the PennDOT did a study on it, decided that it needed to be dropped down, so they went around and did it. Key, I'll take that at my phone.
There's quite a few accidents from, you know, the top of the hill there,
Off
even
Woodland.
on the hill, on the holiday.
Well, that's,
About 3 of them since,
yeah, it has been.
in the past month.
That's Sugar Creek there, so, Franklin.
No,
Yeah.
oh, well, yeah, okay.
Well,
So, who does the study on that?
Well, what the residents in that area has to do is get a hold of PennDOT, and they'll do a study on it.
I'd like to see them put a blinking stoplight in at the store out here, because they keep blowing that one and ending up in the parking lot across the road.
They're taking the boards off.
Maybe that's why you lose one under there.
That's not the first time. I mean, there's gotta been one every other year there.
Probably have to, yeah, you're about right.
Or off my driveway, off the bank.
Yep.
I hit Dad's truck there one time.
Move that combine over, maybe they'd see it.
Paint a bright red or something.
Blaze orange.
Cause I know they put that see-through stop sign in there at one time. Supposedly supposed to self-illuminate it, cause everybody used to say that it was the sun shining in their eyes as they're coming down the
I
hill.
don't believe that.
And they had that one that had the transparent back that was supposed to, but it didn't last very long.
I always thought the sun was shining in your eyes when you went down past the trailer park going to work to the oil well in the morning.
Yeah, this is.
That was the worst spot.
Try this road right here in the morning, and I'll try it in the evening.
Okay, the township, convention is September the one?
Township convention at
28th.
Fire Hall, right?
29th.
Yeah.
29th of September.
Yep, it's Wednesday.
The last Wednesday.
That's the Wednesday before Apple Fest.
Oh, you'd be out of there by noon.
I'll try.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going. I'll get hold of Jack.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Definitely a possibility of maybe.
Well, let me know before the 18th,
Okay.
okay? No. Okay, here's the payroll sheet.
So,
Yeah, this is Apple Fest is on the 1st.
can't make it work.
You'll be making dumplings or something, won't you?
Pies.
It's only 200, that's all.
I was begging, he won't even give you a free sample.
Maybe we'll bring up to the next meeting.
Hmm?
Maybe we'll bring up to the next meeting.
I'm only making the amount that I need to make.
Don't like peeling apples that much, huh?
Well, it's just right around about 14 bushel. Apples to peel.
This is one that I had last month, I didn't have the other thing,
So,
it's a subdivision. Um,
be the piece that Dan Hummus sold on, or, you know, petitioned on from the house and down the line.
Not requested. Not requested. You can tell what happened with Richard Road.
Oh, yeah, I got that written down. Just gotta talk about the bridge.
They're not very good cleaners. They don't
Hey, I
have-
did the best I could save the time I had.
They don't have time to clean.
We're looking for a maid.
What?
We're looking for a maid.
Yard?
Yep,
Part-time.
part-time.
It's
When
not
did you
full-time.
bring that up?
Right now.
Oh.
I don't know if he's serious or not. You never
I'm
know.
never serious.
And that's on the Turnship Road too. You don't live on a dirt road.
I live on.
Smart aleck.
Oh, no, this is bad. You do this next year. Don't expect to see this kind of stuff in my house, but this must be right here. Sorry.
By the way,
Well, Linda, if you were here for 3 hours, 4 hours earlier, you wouldn't have found that desk.
Yeah, well, I know what that was like. Can't find the top of much of anything at my house.
Is everybody signed in?
yeah, one sheet.
I think so.
Yeah, they took the agenda from the other
Sorry about that. I tried.
Huh?
I tried.
What?
You were the last one, you were supposed to take it up.
I thought they'd be left here for in case anybody came in
Oh, okay.
after.
That's all right. Public had a horse meeting tonight, probably.
The township, or the fire department meeting tonight was quite.
Oh, really?
They have a meeting.
Just don't see a name.
Well, they probably got food down there or something.
All right. Anything else for?
I'm not ready tonight.
We'll go on to the grant we're going after here in the township. Down on Church Hill Road down the park. This is I typed up what we're sending down. The project the supervisor of Oakland Township proposes to do on Church Hill Road and 2 mile Run County Park on Township Road 450 consists of pipe installation, mowing of roadway, solidifying the road base, do a double seal coat on the surface of the roadway. First phase of the project is to install additional 18-inch pipe from station 26 plus 65 to aid the drainage of the roadway. That's right there between Rochester Lane and Pritchard Road. Second phase of the project is to mill the roadway from station 0 plus 00 to 62 plus 81 to the depth of 6 inches. That is the necessary amount of 2A limestone prior to the milling of the surface. The roadway to be milled into the roadway to solidify the subbase. Third phase of the project is to do the double seal coat in the roadway. The roadway, after the milling process, will have MC70 applied at the rate of 4.45 tenths of a gallon per square yard and placement of 67 limestone aggregate, with a paver prior to being rolled in with a steel drum roller. Following day, CRS 2 PM oil will be applied at the rate of 6 tenths of a gallon per square yard, placement of number 8 limestone aggregate, with a paver prior to being rolled in with a pair of rubber tire rollers. The work the township has done in the past Cherry Tree Road prior years, ditching, daylighting, placement of cross pipes. This work described will add years of life to Cherry Tree Road, improve the safety of the users of the roadway. The cost of milling the roadway is $3,500. Double seal coat, we're looking at $62,000. This is at today's prices. Who knows what's going to be next year, what inflation is. But we estimate it's pretty high. Double seal coating would be $62,057.14. We're looking at 460 tons of number 2 limestone. It's a cost of $13,104. Pipe, 18-inch pipe is now $22 per foot. That's $880. That's the amount that we are requesting from the county is $79,600. Okay, there's in-kind money here that we're putting up. Taking the money we saved from the local fuels tax used down inside the park. A grader, 16 hours grader times $1,200. Backhoe, 4 hours at $173. 10-ton truck, 4 hours at $228. That's mainly for backhoe and the truck for replacing that one pipe. Shale, 21 yards at $336 a yard. $336. Operator, roadmaster, and we're putting up $10,009 in cash and kind for a total of $13,000.
Those rates with the graders about that FEMA rate.
That is all FEMA rates, 2021 FEMA rates. That's what we have to go by. Total cost of the project is $92,600. So that's what we're going after, and whether we get it or not, who knows? But fixing that road from years of water laying in the ditches and no ditches, and sub-bits being gone on that road. There's a few places on that road is a safety hazard. It needs to be taken care of here pretty quick. So,
Any comments?
any comments? Yes, sir.
I can't believe that any of the areas of the road you're speaking about now even compare to Baker Road in terms of a safety hazard.
Well,
Baker Road right now is just waiting for someone to get hurt badly.
Baker Road is on the agenda, is on our agenda. We were going to do it this year. Mill that sucker up. We talked about it here. You know, when was it, a month ago?
Can't say we were over there about a month ago.
Month and a half ago. We're going to mill that up this year, but we've had over 8 inches of rain this year. I just past month, there's no way to get to it. It's getting too late in the year now, really do much with it, other than filling the holes in, which we're going to as soon as it gets time to do it.
There's other measures that could be taken for safety, like cutting trees back, which you could do tomorrow.
Well,
Tomorrow.
we had the time tomorrow to do it, we would. Right now, we got a project starting on Canyon Run Road. That's taking a lot of attention. I'm writing grants right now for other projects in the county and the township here for next year. And we want to get to the road, our plans this year, as long as we got the weather this year, we're going to be ditching this one of the roads that we are going to be ditching. Which end of Baker Road do you live on?
Toward Cooperstown,
Towards Cooperstown?
going west.
Down where it was milled a few years ago. What happened there, that road should have been ditched before it was milled.
But they're at the sharp end
Down by Gurney's.
by Gurney's. The amount of traffic that's there now for the Dollar General and so forth, people can't see. And with the holes in the road, nobody's on their side. You've got to do something with those trees. It'll take half a day. Cut the trees back.
Well, the problem is right now it's time. I understand what you're saying, what we're planning on doing. We were over that road here a week or so ago. And, we get the time, we're gonna start fire up as soon as we don't can run. We got a couple other projects ahead there right now. And yes, it does need done, I guarantee you that. See, we got,
Right now you're voting on this.
what's that?
I said, right now you're voting on this.
Right.
When you ask for comments, I'm giving comments.
Well,
Well, comments on this
on
project.
this project here. Is there any other projects on, Cherry Tree Road?
I got a question. You're gonna mill that up, right?
Yeah, we're gonna mill it.
You're gonna remove the blacktop.
And mill, no, the black loss will be milled into the road.
It's just gonna be milled in.
You're gonna
You're
grind
gonna
it
lay it
into
back
the,
down with heat, you're gonna lay it back down
Cold.
as soft material.
Cold.
And what good's that gonna do?
We're gonna do a lot again.
are you gonna roll it?
It's gonna be rolled. It'll be rolled with a steel roller. What they'll do, Randy, is they'll go in there and, we'll grade that up that morning.
So you're not gonna do it?
No, we got that contractor to.
The contractor comes in.
You're just
and
gonna,
mills.
your part of the thing is just one or two sluice pipes or something?
We got one pipe replaced down there. See, we already replaced the pipes down through there.
So it's gonna be contracted
It's
out?
gonna be contracted out. What we're gonna do is, right now, we're looking at suit codes. Well, actually, the milling's gonna be taking, what, Conrad, drum barrel or something like that. Out of,
Cambridge Springs.
Cambridge Springs area. He's gonna be coming in and milling that road up to depth of 6 inches. And, the lowest possible, we'll add the 2A limestone to it and we'll have that mowed in the road. But, we'll shape that road with the grader. The road will be closed the whole time, the whole week that's done. What happened to that?
You'll be doing it with a grader?
Well, we take care of the grader end of it, as part of our in-kind work.
So you're gonna try and recoup this money from the county that you're talking about
Through
here?
county aid, yes.
That's what-
Fuel
And what
stuff
happens, do they make that decision before the project starts, or?
Before we apply right now, we'll know in November if we receive the money.
Oh, so you're not gonna do it this year?
No, it's gonna be next year.
Oh, okay, all right.
We're just got the proposal, this is what we wanna do,
Mhm.
I see, okay.
And that's just like.
can we get the money or not get the money? If we don't get the money, then it won't happen. If we get the money, then it'll happen.
But the process is the road will be light, fluffy, and we'll shoot it, they shoot at a heavy rate of MC70, which is for dirt. And then 67 limestone is just a little bit smaller than 57s. Put that down with the paver, and the roller, press that down, and the hole will come up around it. That's why they, and the very next day, that's why they put the E3 down. And with the number 8, similar to that, what we have outside here.
Well, I'm sure the county has some idea what's going on, and
And it goes through
They don't?
PennDOT, well, it goes through, PennDOT.
right, so they have to have some idea.
No, they know what's going on.
Yeah,
Planning committee.
that's fine, yeah, if they get the money, go ahead with the project, that's it.
But if this works out on that road, we would like to start going other roads that way. And I tell you what, I think it'll hold up.
Well, you're not gonna be, you're just gonna do a little bit of it, you're just gonna do
We're
10%,
replacing-
10% of the work, or 15% of the
We've
work?
already done a lot of work down there, in the ditching, the daylight and everything else has been done. Over the last couple of years, we applied for grant funding last year for a different project down there on that road. So this works out to be, we get the whole road done rather than a small piece.
You're gonna start right at the main highway then?
Now we're gonna start right below your house, right at your house.
That road up the main highway sucks too. Other than you put a little coat on it.
And we put the coat on, but hey, we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what the funding is.
You know, you send all the trucks down that road for the gas wells. They all come down that way. That road, there's some huge boulders in that road.
I know there's one right in front of your house.
Yeah, I know there is. They're all over the place
Sticking up
down
in the
across the
road,
top of that hill.
Well,
And no one ever took them out or did anything about them.
Mhm.
What's the ones that need dug out, put the shale in that hole?
Well, they need more, down there where it's collapsed along the sides, it needs shale in it too. It ain't gonna go away, digging it up.
Anything we do.
I seen the trucks down there and they blacktopped it buried.
I believe that. There's no base to that road at all.
Should've been put on before it was ever blacktopped.
What's the gas well trucks going down there for? Get brine?
Brine water.
Brian out the.
Anything they gotta do on the wells,
Fire truck?
fire, anything goes down
Milk
there, they
truck.
go that way.
Milk truck goes out Baker.
It goes out the other end.
Any other comments?
Motion to apply for.
Yep.
I'm motioning.
Okay, all in favor?
Okay, here's the form that you have to sign. We have to have this into the county by the 18th of September, that's why we're,
Just like any grant, you know, you're right, apply for it now, when it's open, and you'll find out later on whether you get the money or not. If you don't get it, you get the money for next following year, apply for the same grant. Additional points.
This one page.
Just one
yeah,
page.
just that one.
Okay, what else you got, Barb?
I don't know.
Building sheets, building permits, you got anything?
Didn't have any new building permits.
Thanks,
No.
subdivision, okay.
Oh,
Did you get a, stormwater application for the Southwest?
some booth.
Oh, Audrey, I talked to him. Well, they just applied, I mean, he had the stormwater application Wednesday when he came to the office to get signature, then he's gonna go get the application for a garage.
Okay, I think that all I have.
Okay.
About the limestone bid,
Yeah, shale.
shale.
Number 3 shale is gonna be put out to bid, we're allowed up to $21,500 before we start bidding it. And, we're gonna start, put out the bid here this month. And open bids here next month at the October meeting. We'll be posting the, newspaper twice.
You mean number 3 sandstone?
Yeah,
There's no shale around here.
sandstone.
Sandstone, shale, whatever. Anyways, it's going out to bid. It's gonna be 750 tons what we're gonna be bidding at this time. By the yard. Okay, you got anything else?
No.
Okay. Fred, Sarah? Okay. Linda?
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna be good. I'd like to have a correction made and an explanation for what my name is by here on this. What's that? In your minutes from, I did not say or need for a copy of minutes and treasurer's report. I was requesting why you don't read them and a meeting.
So what do you want me to say?
Well, the way you have it written here, it's like, you put, this will be done. I don't have anything to do with that being done.
I know, I do. And I was the one that wrote the minutes.
Yeah, but the way,
And I already knew that the agenda thing was coming up. So that's what I put on there. I'll scratch that line.
Anything else, Linda?
I scratched that line.
no scratch what line.
It will be done.
Well, your minutes in reading anything to the public or in the room here has to do with a new law, which I knew nothing about until after you met with Nick.
So that isn't something that we're voting on, that is just
That's
something that the state said we had to do.
That's right. I just happened to mention that last month, and then all of
Wait
a
a minute.
sudden it's in the law, in law prior to, yeah, she was brought everything up.
Okay, let me ask you this, what's the law say, does it have to be read or just resolutions to be read before you vote on
The resolution should be.
it? Okay, there was no we read the resolution right here for Cherry Tree Road before it was passed, okay?
Oh,
That's all we need to read,
That's all we have to
we
have
don't have to
on
read the
our
minutes for
agenda.
the previous meetings.
You just have to have them printed? Is
Just have
that
to have
what you're
printed.
saying? She's just saying,
You don't even have to have them printed, you have to have them available if anybody wants to look at them.
oh, okay.
We just printed them so that you could have them.
Since I
Yeah,
had
no,
print-
that's great, I think
Since I
that's great.
had to use a piece of paper to print the agenda, I thought,
yeah, I think this is great, but I don't, the way it read there, it looks like I'm the one that,
no, I crossed that out. That'll go in the final minute book, is, that will be on there.
I didn't want anybody to think that I was behind that
No,
being done,
There's
because
people down here for
it was something in the law, and I just happened to bring it up. And then Dan Hubbard's actually brought up more
Yeah,
about,
his name's not on there, is it?
Is it Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was the one that continued that conversation about every meeting that he goes to, those things are done. And did you make me a copy of the financial report that Fred gave?
It's on there.
It's on here.
It's on
Is
there.
that all there? Oh, okay. That's all it.
Is that the total?
At what date?
Hmm?
What date?
Yeah, it's August 2nd.
Okay. Like you said, there was $50,000 spent.
Well, is there any more money coming in before the end of the year?
Probably some tax money coming in.
Each month, that number will change.
Change. Well, I understand that.
But we don't get any more liquid fuel tax until March 1st. And it's tax revenue as it trickles in. I imagine there's still some, it's not small amount, it'll be small amounts that'll be brought into the coffers. And if there's, police fines or something like that, it'll be added to the general fund. But as far as anything lump sum, no.
One of the things that go into the, general fund is the earned income tax money. There's still people out there in Oakland Township that
Work?
are working.
Really?
Yeah, so that money goes in, that goes into our general fund. And we
I appreciate it.
We didn't, so, we didn't lose anything over the COVID. I mean, we didn't lose any earned income. So that was, yeah.
Okay, that all, Linda?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Randy?
I don't want to ruffle
I've got a few questions and suggestions.
Yes, sir.
My first question is, John Dietz's road, which is the tar road, you shaled that a year or so ago, is that correct?
The upper end, yes.
Yeah. It was my understanding that you were gonna seal it after a certain point in time?
We started, I tell you what, Randy, after that last winter that came through, you know, the smooth that road actually turned out. It turned out to be a halfway decent road. And we decided at that time not to put any 2A down on it, just save ourselves some money.
I
Because
see.
That road is holding, I tell you what, that road is holding up nice.
Well, my question was, that's what you always said. You said you were gonna put the shale down and then you were gonna go back and seal it.
Right.
And I was across it the other day and it was not sealed.
No, it's not sealed.
Okay.
But it's saving money, that's, like, we talked about putting the 2A down to get better wear and service.
Right.
But after the winter, I tell you what, I think it's pretty decent road. What do you think?
I think Randy's talking about oil in it.
Oh.
No,
Right?
I'm
he's
just talking about crushed bank on
Oh,
top.
okay.
No, he's.
That's all I'm talking
I thought you, when you said seal, I thought you were
No,
talking about oil.
No, he used that word
Well, we.
with the shale.
Okay.
Well, what we.
I'm not talking about tar and chipping, I'm talking about putting crushed bank so it's a little bit smoother, blah, 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 and the snowplow don't take a beat in his back. Okay? Next, I suggest that, I don't know how many people are in the township and how many postage stamps it takes, but I would like to see, maybe twice a year, you put out a flyer to all the taxpayers and say, what can we do to improve our roads? What problem do you have, other than coming to a meeting, and you're not gonna have them come to a meeting? And, you know, if you got 10 suggestions for a certain road, maybe the road department would look at that road and say, you know, put a little effort towards that road instead of a road that only gets one complaint. I mean, I don't know, I don't know if there's 1,000 people at 50 cents, it's $500, whatever,
That could be incorporated into the fire department's flyer, probably, that goes out yearly too, at least.
Yeah, they send out a bill,
As a thought.
they send out a thing asking for donations and so forth and so on. I would like to see that, only to help the road department out. Maybe that would point you fellas in a different direction. Another question I have is, how often do the supervisors get together and drive the roads to look at problems?
We're going to do a road tour this year on Veterans Day.
So you just do it once a year?
We do it once a year.
Okay.
Unless we have a, say a storm blows through or something, hey, you kind of get together here and we'll kind of go over here and look at something.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just was curious.
We've been out a half dozen times on different roads. Baker Road, down on Pritchard Road, and different roads, okay, where the three of us been out looking to see what.
I tell you what.
That was just, I was just curious whether you did it once a month, twice a year, once a year, and that answers my question.
Road tour we do in the fall every year. Okay. This year, since the election's coming up, we're going to do this to November after the election, and whoever comes supervisor will be asked to ride along.
Now, my last thing is, it's getting late in the year.
Yes, it is.
And my personal opinion is, I'd park the damn grader. I mean, the ditches can wait at this point in time. This man is right. I went across Baker Road 3 times in the last 2 days, and that is a disaster.
It was a disaster.
And I can't see how you're gonna drive a snowplow down that road without a foot getting caught in one of them holes and ripping the shit out of that snowplow. I just believe that there's so many roads in the township that need fixed. Now, I would consider that an emergency road and maybe hire a small blacktopping crew to go in with hot blacktop and fill some of that and roll it. But when you go around that bend that he's talking about, head up that little bit of grade, headed out of the township, you gotta get in the center of the road or in the left lane. You sure as hell ain't gonna drive in that rough, broke up stuff. I mean, it's just, I was hauling 3 ton of gravel on that road coming out of Cooperstown, and it was a mess. I mean, I feel sorry for the man that has to travel it all the time.
Well, like I said, Randy, about anything we can do is hope for dry weather. The problem is this year, the rain we've had.
I'm not disagreeing with you
We
one iota. I'm just telling you, I think that is a safety problem.
Well,
Sir, you can cut them trees back for almost no cost and no time, and at least make it safer.
Yeah, it's a blind
At least
spot
allow
there. And you
people
know
to
it.
be able to see.
Yeah, it's a blind spot, and I'm sure that the people that own the trees will go absolutely insane. But you do have a right of way that you can work off of.
Right. We do have a right of way.
Just don't get carried away like they did at Joyce and Gary Croker's, and now they're getting paid for their trees.
Don't worry, we're not going to do that. But
No, I just, the man's right. I come across it. When I was coming back this morning and the sun was in my eyes, it was a disaster.
like I said, that road was built up here, what was that, 4 years ago?
And I could see where you put some shale in a couple of the holes, and
But that's the thing about it, Randy. That road should have been ditched back when it was originally milled up.
well, they hauled that gas well out of there, and I'm sure there's a big song to that whole damn road. So
Here's the whole story on that road over there. When they pulled that gas well out 5 years ago, they hauled 1,000 loads in, they hauled 1,000 loads back out.
yeah, I know I bought some of them.
Yep. But anyways, that destroyed that road. We fought tooth and nail with Range Resources to get money out. They wanted to pay us $10,000 for that road. And Greg and I and Flint and Don, we sat here, we argued back with the Range Resources. We got it up to $38,000. That's when we turned around and put the money back, when we got the check for $38,000, that's when we milled that road up and sealed it up. But I said, that road should have been ditched, so we have drainage on that road before we waste our money on the milling. And
I
if you
just
would've
like,
done that,
I just
that
like
road
to
would
see
help
it
out.
filled. I
What's
mean,
that?
I have no idea if you could hire a small blacktop crew to roll some of them things in with hot blacktop or something, but it's, I just can't believe you're gonna take a snowplow down it. I just foresee you busting your snowplow up.
No, we're not gonna bust snowplow up. What we're gonna do, we're gonna have to start fire that up. As soon as we get done with Cameron, we got that job going right now, and it's first part of September, we get time to get it done before snow flies.
Yep.
And if we're taking, start fire that up, work gravel into it, and next year we got to do something with these roads, because I tell you what, the weather and the rain this year has been hell on these roads.
I'm not disagreeing with you a bit. I mean, they're washing and whatever, you know.
You know, when you get a
We've had 2 or 3 floods down there on Pump Station Road.
Oh, well, I know.
Usually you have one a year, you know.
I know, but that's part of the problem right now, they're violating weekly floods.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean.
And as soon as you get the washouts fixed up, here comes another one.
Just to add something here, but just put a sign pay sheet, okay? There was 2 weeks here that the only thing was flood damage. I mean, so there you could have been working on Baker Road, but there's public safety, you have to go out and do flood damage. I mean,
I understand, forgive me, but this isn't new. Those trees didn't grow in the last 3 months.
No, they're only part of it. The trees are only part
Yeah,
of it.
that's just one.
Yep.
We got somebody, okay,
Trees are on the inside
on Gurney side.
on Gurney, so.
Yeah.
Right at the guy's driveway.
Okay, well, I'll go over there tomorrow and take a look at it, talk to Ray about it. But the thing about it is, just like all these roads, that's one of the biggest problems we do is daylighting.
Okay.
We've done close to 5 miles of daylighting here in the last 2 years.
And it helps a lot.
It helps a lot,
Yep.
and we need more done. Except, we got one road we want to do this year, Spear Road down here. We'll do a section of that. And that's the biggest drainage work you do.
And it just occurs to me as you're talking about it, is as you're doing the daylighting, why not cut back where there's
Well, one thing.
line of sight issues?
Well, that's the thing about it, that's what daylighting does. Perfect example is, okay, we had Rent Farm daylight last year,
Mm-hmm.
from 428 right down the township line.
Yep.
That improved the visibility of that road, drainage in that road, because it evaporates out. We used less anesthesia on that road last year because no snow and all.
It definitely works.
Well, I don't think he's interested in daylighting the road. I think he's just interested in getting a little
I
bit
know.
of
So you see
shit
it on
cut
there.
off the corner there.
Line of sight, they're not,
He's more interested in you going and doing it than hiring a crew and daylighting it from.
I know, Randy, what he's talking about, but we're able to make the time here this fall, yeah.
Okay.
You got my word on it, all right?
I heard you.
You heard me?
I heard
Okay,
checks in the mail.
that's enough.
Move on. All right. You're up, one of you guys.
Come on now.
On? I mean,
You're pretty much answered mine. I wanted to know the financial report, and I think it's time to start getting some companies hired on the side to fix these roads. Bullshit. Even my road. I take my time out, I get gravel and I go fill the holes in myself. It don't last, but I don't have that. I mow the side of my road. That shouldn't be put on me. That down towards Fritz's, you can't get one car through there still on pavement. So what do you do on the ditches? You don't. I say we get another company hired to work
where are
on
we gonna get
it.
the money to do this for?
Well, that's why I wanted
Where
a
do I get money?
financial report. Where are you getting the money to do Cherry Tree?
Carrot Road, that's a grant.
Well, then get a freaking grant.
That's what we've been trying to do.
That's what I'm trying to do, Tom. I wrote, right now.
I don't care how
You
many
don't-
you wrote.
Okay, Tom, then you do it. You want
I'm
me-
not one to write a grant. I'd like to see all the grants you did yourself.
We'll get them out.
Yeah.
No, that's not basic.
There's
Passionate.
been
Get on with new
quite a
business.
few, and a lot of these grants have to do with,
You take it all personal. I think it's bad. That Baker Road, I did go on. Yeah, there we go again, back to Baker Road. But there's more than Baker Road that's on it. And if you can't find the time to do it, let's get somebody else to do it.
What did we just say here? What did John just say here a couple minutes ago?
Hard to tell.
Weren't you listening?
Yeah. At which time, he has 14 pies to make, 200 pies to make.
The thing of it is, I just signed pay sheets, okay? And there was 2 weeks there. The only thing we did was flood damage. I mean, when they're not doing flood damage, you know, public safety comes before maybe the Baker Road being passable, or the old being
But
passable.
like he said, it's been that way a long time. So why
Ain't
not
no
before
right.
the flood?
There also is 36 miles of road in this township to be, you know, and the thing with it is, what do? You're here running around trying to fix this and trying to fix that, okay? And there just isn't enough time in the day for the crew that we have. And we don't have the money to go out and pay somebody else to come in.
I mean, it looks like a lot of money here on paper,
Once formed, it's gone.
I don't think it did.
you know.
That's why I wanted to see it too.
You know.
Because when I read it, I'm saying, oh God, there should be more money than that in there.
Right.
That, you know, when you think about it, I would think that. I'm not saying anything against Bart. I wanted to see the figures because I would think there would be more money. in
Right,
that.
and that's a lot of the problem. I mean,
Well,
You got-
that's all I do is ask these questions, and I don't want you to take it personal all the
And
time.
like Barbara said, okay, our census, okay, the number of people that reported in Oakland Township went down. That means we're gonna get less money,
Well, I know.
you know, so, you know, I'm sorry, but we don't have a money tree out here to be able to make money off of.
And when you do these dirt and gravel road projects, you have to pay prevailing wage. And that's not.
Yeah.
that's
There's so
not
much
cheap.
involved in this.
Not if you're doing it yourself.
What?
Not if you're doing it yourself.
If you have the money to do it, that's fine, dandy.
Yourself.
He was talking about hiring somebody.
No, I know,
And
hiring
if you
somebody.
hire somebody, it has to be prevailing wage.
Anything over $25,000 prevailing wage.
Well, let's keep it under then.
Yeah, you can only give me 24 and I'll take care of my road.
Or you could break it into multiple contracts to keep it down, that's one of the methods you can
Well, I
use.
could do that, yes or no, but a lot of times one contractor takes care of it.
Well, for the conservation district, they use the total package. Don't matter how many contractors you
You
have.
have one contractor, it doesn't, it's still gonna be prevailing wage. Because there's so many different laws and hoops you gotta jump through to get these grants.
What's wrong with the prevailing wage? Is that something that's?
High, sky high, it's union scale,
Aye.
it's very high.
That's why we need to do more room, hire another guy.
Then a lot of ways you don't get the grants. One thing they look at these grants, if you're hiring somebody else, you get extra points for that kind of stuff, because you're employing additional people.
like last year, we did bring in an extra guy to help out, and we paid a lot of, you know, our payroll then reflected on the number here, and, you know, this year Barb's like, we've really got to watch what we do because we seen what that extra man costs, and it was, you know, quite a bit for just one extra guy to come in.
There was something else.
And we didn't benefit, I mean, we benefited some from it, but not as much as, you know, the cost effectiveness.
But we were misled a little bit on that. They went and said that out of the COVID money, that they were gonna reimburse us for that guy.
Guess what, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Do you still do snow fence?
Nope, very little. Any place put snow fence up last year was down by the fire hall, this year we are gonna put some over by the next house. Because that's the only two places, the rest of it, we can't handle the snow plows.
It didn't snow last year, did it?
Hasn't snowed in quite a while.
All right,
Craig loses his overtime.
Nick, you're up.
Nick, you got anything?
On my road, or on our road, you were speaking of flood damage, there's two or three big craters on the berm of the road, almost. Right below where you just put down tar and chip, or tar and pea gravel. Right down near the bend. Yeah, they're like that deep. I mean, most of the gravel's down by the bend, but
Yeah, the hole by my mailbox kinda got filled in after the last rain, unless you guys came along.
We'll
with
send you a
your-
bill.
I'll send you a bill.
Send me a bill? What, did you?
For filling it in, yeah.
We have that.
You pay it to Mother Nature
We already
already.
have that bill, we pay taxes. That's what that's for. We
what's
pay
the
taxes.
status on the mowing machine? How's that coming along? Or
We had time to get it back together, we finally got the part back here a couple of weeks or two ago, and if we get time to get back together, get the mowing done, everything else will be going.
I had somebody comment to me tonight that was camping down in the park that commented on how the grass is tunneling in, but I know you're only two people.
But
But
there we are, okay? Do we go mow, grass, or do we try to get over to work on Baker Road?
Mhm.
You know, what do
One
you
goes
do?
one direction, one goes the other direction.
We do that all the time.
Well,
To keep
technically,
people happy, we do that
by
all the time.
PennDOT rules, you gotta go, when you're cutting trees, you gotta have somebody with you. if somebody's mowing, the truck has to be following.
No.
Have to have a shadow.
Not on a back road.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
We follow the PennDOT pub, supposedly.
I had to boil water.
I mean,
I don't see anybody on back roads grading and doing
No, township.
mowing and stuff. Township.
that's because they don't have the
Township.
manpower, but if something
They don't
happened,
have to do it. If they don't have to do it, we don't have to do it. Who's gonna run out there and
You'll die
scold?
by them safety
Huh?
rules.
Who's gonna run out there and
I
scold? Nobody.
Yeah, I imagine so.
You'll die by them.
That's a crazy thing. Nobody's gonna say anything.
We're not working on the
No,
interstate. I
here's
believe
the
you on
thing.
the interstate, but
Somebody will complain.
Nah. Come on now. They've done it for years and years and years. And other townships, I don't see anybody following them around mowing.
how does the grader
I don't
work
see
without
Craig's
somebody
Creek
following
have
them
anybody
around?
around.
No, they put
mowing.
signs up, that's true.
I will,
Not on the back
discuss
roads,
this
not
right
on the
now.
township roads.
That is the law.
It might be the law, but there's lots of laws that they just overlook too. Come on now. You're not allowed to have a tire out beyond your fender. I see trucks and cars all over the place with tires out over the fender. That's a law. There's lots of laws they just overlook. We're talking about mowing township roads. We're not talking out on the highway.
Okay.
Okay, let's move
But
on.
it's fixed?
What?
The mower's fixed?
No, we'll
bark is
we'll still
made.
get it back together if we have time to.
Okay. It's gonna rain tomorrow.
It's rain for the next couple of days.
I don't know about, I don't know, days.
More.
Anyways, Jeremy, you got anything? Louis?
Okay, we closed Pritchard Road. How come?
The bridge is unsafe.
Where's it unsafe at? I went down and looked. Where's it unsafe?
They said you get down in,
I was
Chelsea.
down underneath it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's washed in underneath the
Washed out.
foundation that far.
So that's not very hard to fix.
Well,
You divert the water from one side, put a form in, and pour some concrete.
it is, and you're right. Okay, but it's $50,000
Nah, ain't no $50,000 work on that.
All right, let's
to
read.
have shingle decker come in. We
Oh,
had
come on
them
now.
come in.
$50,000.
Yeah,
No.
Okay, this is what's going on here, buddy.
we just got the.
You want to close the road? We realize that. It's been going on forever.
Look, we've got right here. If you want,
Hey, here's what we have to do.
here's our from our engineer,
Who's the engineer?
Mark Corey.
Oh, he's a good
We-
guy. I like Mark, he's all right.
We had, okay, we had the
We
PennDOT.
went down and looked at it. And I could stick my arm in underneath there that far. So then we got a hold of
PennDOT.
PennDOT,
The
and their
bridge.
inspectors come out with Bill, and they said,
So
"No,
structurally, the only problem that this thing is the footers.
yes,
That's it.
One side.
$50,000.
that's
Come on
what
now. Come
between the
on.
permits to get in the creek, and for shingle decker
Well, you
to."
don't need permits in the creek. Bill's been in the creek the last couple of weeks here. He's down there.
You can
Back
remove
down
the
there.
sandbar above it and then it'll
Did he have
wash
a
and
permit?
fill in the next time.
Where are you talking about, Bill?
Down at Factory Races, going down
No,
there.
he wasn't.
Oh, yes, he was.
Oh, we
He was
have
witness
the-
they were in.
Okay, time out.
We have
Look,
the-
okay, come on back up here,
You don't have
Craig.
the right.
We have a
Read that.
report on that
I've
too.
done that before.
Okay.
Read this, okay.
We've got the report on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a concern,
Do
we
we
had
have
a
a
concern,
permit?
we had a concerned citizen, okay?
This is from the Conservation District.
turn us into the conservation district because we were down digging in the creek.
Yeah, I know. You better have a permit to be in that creek.
Okay.
You are.
Okay,
Here's their report.
The district received a complaint about an individual digging in the stream and using equipment in the stream. District staff responded within the same day. It was observed that the individual from Oakland Township was removing wood debris from the stream and placed it on the bank. There was no pieces of equipment in the stream. There was no evidence of equipment being in the stream, nor any evidence that material was being moved from one location to another within the stream. There was no evidence the equipment tracks going into this and out of the stream, nor was there observed that the equipment was moved up and down the stream on the bank. Only wood vegetation was observed being removed from the stream and its bank. It was considered no violations were observed at that site. Township personnel were asked to seed and mulch the disturbed area where machines were setting. Now that was from our concern, okay, they said that we didn't have a permit to go down there and remove that wood debris out of there.
I know if I go in a creek, I gotta have a permit before I go in.
But the thing was, the conservation district was notified prior to us doing this, okay? They knew about it, okay? We went down and did it. We were turned in.
By Dan Hubs.
We don't know.
Oh, I know who it was. Don't worry about that.
But the thing with it,
Must be like Bill going around and turning.
okay, so this is what came out of it. We try to follow things, okay? Now you said about somebody following the truck while you're mowing.
Mowing.
Yeah. This is why you have to do it. Because there will be some concerned citizen, okay, that will turn us in.
I doubt there'd be anybody in our town.
I doubt it. They'd like to have those mowed back. I doubt they'd be.
Here's proof that it happens.
Number one, I double checked with the conservation district, we'll be doing any work in the creek, whether or not we need a permit or not. I contacted the conservation district, talked to Lance and also Tim down there. They both determined that woody debris like that does not need a permit to be removed. We had the
You have to
blessing
have
of
a
Randy.
permit for a pond?
What?
You have to have a permit
Yes,
for
you
a
do.
pond?
Yes, you do.
Over an acre.
Well, it's my understanding when the conservation office was there, they told you could drive across the creek. Is that right?
You're right, on down below when we take the other brush pile out down there.
But
I don't know what the big deal is here. We got turned in for something that we did not need to be turned in for. Just somebody stuck their nose where it did not belong. Matter of fact, Lou, we're going to be doing another job over Billingsley Road here in a couple of weeks, and we are going to be digging the creek. But we do not need a permit there for the simple reason is less than 100-acre drainage area.
I got a question for you.
What?
I've done 25 acres of pipe yard, and you guys say you can't get nothing done. That's two of us. You can't get anything done in this weather. It's funny. We get stuff done every goddamn day. You can't go ride around for 2 hours or take the backhoe and shove a goddamn tree off the road where you can take a chainsaw, cut it up and throw it off the road. And that's what you do. I see that son of a bitch go past my place all the time. Down, back. Just to go push a damn tree off the road. Get your damn chainsaw off and clean the damn things out of the ditch.
You're such a wise old man, aren't you?
Well, no.
I'm about ready for this man.
Let's move along to the next thing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
He's just being a jerk.
I know.
That's usual.
Yeah. Are you a commissioner or something?
No, but I know.
She can say whatever she wants, but us that we were here, we're not allowed to talk. What is that about?
Fred? What you got, Fred?
Ready to get anything? Yep. You on?
No, the only thing I gotta say is, okay, we're doing the best that we can. Okay? Dan says that he'll try to get down there on Baker Road and do something to it.
And Tom said about, don't take it personal. Well, we do take it personal. Because we all live in the township too.
You're
You shouldn't
I don't
take,
even live on
you
township.
shouldn't take it personal
Don't
because
take it personal, it's a job.
He gets paid to work for our township.
Yeah, he gets paid.
He's an employee of our township.
Right.
You're
so
not.
he takes it.
You're a supervisor.
that's why I suggested send a mailing out. Maybe you'll get 10 complaints about a road, and we don't have to be here complaining about the road. You'll say, oh good, here's a road that only has 1 complaint, here's a road that's got 10 complaints. Let's put our effort in
They're all
that
gonna
road.
have complaints.
You don't think that's a good idea?
No, I wrote that down, and I do think
How many
that.
I do.
How many operators we have in this township?
We got 2 employees on this town.
Okay, how many can run anything?
I run backhoe.
You
That's
do?
it.
What?
Well, when you're cleaning ditches, why don't you both haul dirt?
Because we got one guy loading, the other guy,
Well, what's the guy do while you're running away?
Jeremy Clark.
I know what he's doing. He's sitting alongside the road waiting for you to come back. I've watched him.
If you can run backhoe, what, and you
That's
can
right.
load
If he
yourself,
cleans the ditch out,
that doubles
Okay.
what you're getting
and
done.
that's double.
Ready, Jonathan?
If I run my business like these guys work on roads, I'd be broke.
Jonathan? Okay, 417.
You can't send out a questionnaire to township people when 90% of the traffic on the damn road,
It's not in the town.
they're not township people. They're all going down to the Plum with a boat, or they're going down to some horse thing for horse trip. Most of the traffic past my place ain't people that live on this town.
You're absolutely right.
They're passing through the town.
They use these roads as shortcuts.
Right.
Doesn't matter which road.
When Rod was closed here last week, what do you think those people?
I would say Baker Road is a road like he's speaking about, don't you think?
Can't go to Meadville without going across Baker Road, basically.
Exactly. If I go to Stoneboro, I go across
I
Baker
don't know why you
Road.
go that way, I go across Keely Road.
Baker Road.
I take the shortcut down there through Cooperstown and come out at Utica intersection.
All right, anyways, 417. Down here is going to be taken care of in 25, 26 by PennDOT. That's when they want to redo the road. They're going to put in the contract there to completely redo the drainage system in Dempstertown.
Year 2025.
25, 26.
Is that from like the Cooperstown Road up or what?
Cooperstown Road up to the intersection down here.
What they already
Probably the curb area.
Curb area that's falling down. The drainage.
They worked on it there a few years back. Is
They're
that
going to work on it again this fall.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's what they said anyways. Anyways, cane runs, project started today. We're gonna be down there probably the next 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, depends on the weather. Pritchard Road, we had vandalism in there over the weekend. Some side by sides busted up the gate down by Jerry Huff's. And, somebody put some, glue in the locks, super glue or something in the locks, so they cannot be used. And trail cameras will tell us who it was. So I get down tomorrow and take a look. And the state police have been called, and the state police has been called, and they have been reported.
Except for the Huffle gang.
Anyways, conservation, John took care of that. That's all I got. He's over with.
Oh, Bill,
What?
about Chris.
Oh, fire department. Chris, that fire department meeting tonight, where's that thing at? Here it is. Okay, 9/11, trucking, couple people will be on standby down 2 Mile Run, they'll stay with what for? This,
I think that's the archery thing now.
is that the archery this weekend?
I think so.
Their 2 mile spectacular or whatever. They're gonna have fireworks, car show, all kinds of
Okay,
stuff.
I think
no, that's this weekend.
thing's over, isn't it?
Okay, this weekend, they're hosting a fire school down there at the fire department. On 9/17, the Friday dinner for a change from 5 to 7 o'clock at my sausage sandwiches, drive-through. And on the 26th, they're having the annual hazmat course. And the calls are average for the month. What did they say, 5? Yeah. Calls are just average for the month, so it's not been a real busy month. You got anything else, Board? 8:10. Meeting's over, 8:10.